Hello and most welcome to H1943. This is the first outside broadcast with Zoom ever. This is at least what I think. It is below 3 minus in a square in Gothenburg. And we will today continue with St. John's Apothecary, Difference, Textuality, and the Advent of Meaning by Robert M. Price. Well, we're going to start very interestingly in the PDF, page 2, page 60, if I remember correctly, in the
106
106 in the written edition. It's going to be very short, one of the shortest one we ever made. Why does writing delay and defer and obstruct meaning? Obstruct meaning! Jacques Derrida addresses these issues in a number of works, including of grammatology. I want to focus, though, on his essay, Plato's Pharmacy, where he deconstructs Plato's argument in his Phaedrus dialogue. There, Plato, speaking through his ventriloquist dummy Socrates, tells a tale of the origin of writing. Here, in brief, it is: once upon a time, says Socrates, the messenger god Thoth came before the throne of his master Ammon, king of gods and mortals. Thoth has a breakthrough, a great invention to announce. Indeed, announce. But perhaps learning a lesson from the terrible fate of Prometheus, he decides to check with the boss before going public with it. His invention is writing. He says it will function as a pharmacon. Pharmacon. A pharmacon.
A pharmacon.
A medicine to make up for the unfirm memory of human beings. If they write down what is important, they will not They will not need to worry. Should they later forget it, they can look it up. Look it up. Look it up.
No.
But Amon is not sure it is a good idea. This drug, this pharmacon of writing, he replies, is not so much a medicine as it is a poison. Poison! It will further erode the power of memory. Of memory. People will take less care to remember precisely because they know they can always look up where they wrote it. Worse yet, writing will steal the words from the author, wrest them from his control. His control. A speaker may make himself understood since he can repeat, rephrase, reinforce a point with a gesture or an inflection. A written transcription allows for none of these. None of these. Of these. Thus, if I read a manuscript of a speech, I was not present to hear, I stand a much greater chance of misunderstanding it. Misunderstanding. I'm afraid we have to go for comments already. So misunderstanding it will be the pause here.
Misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding. Page 107.
107.
Yes. Misunderstanding. Yeah.
We go back to the previous page. 106. Bit more up. Yeah. Why does writing delay and defer an abstract meaning? That question is very aptly put because that's exactly the mirror expression of the logocentrism of the metaphysics of presence or the metaphysics of now or metaphysics whatsoever, if I be so bold to extend it a bit. It is the tendency that everything is now and here, in closeness to my own voice, where I stand, as I now stand, my voice is infused with meaning. And if you look into Derrida's dissemination or dissemination, it is seminized by my interior, my black box or beetle box, if you like. So the difference, there are actually a sort of family resemblance between Derrida and Wittgenstein. Things that are quite interesting, to say the least. I think maybe you can understand a bit now how there is a certain closeness. They are not completely afar. Writing becomes both medicine and poison. Why? Well, the good thing is it helps memory. We start to remember better because we can always turn to what is written. The bad thing is we do not train our minds anymore to remember. That's the other side. So pharmacon can be both poison and medicine. There is an odd thing here. When it comes to medicine, if you go to a pharmacy today, at least 30% of the drugs there acts both as poison and as medicine. Snake venom is not uncommon. We also find venom from certain very rare fishes. All of the cancer treatment is pure venom. Chemotherapy is a venom, was actually developed as a venom, but came to be used also as a pharmacon. So the double entendre is not far from reality. I'm afraid, Kalle, you have to come in already.
Thank you. We have this. I will also comment on this. Why does writing delay and defer and obstruct meaning? But we have the same problem also with speech, like homonyms. The word I is one homonym, and there are many others. And often you, even in writing, you can read things like this error is because of mishearing. So, and the previous meaning here, text is cipher, and the promise parousia of meaning always deludes us, makes us wait and wait. So this delay or differing of meaning is
defer, and difference, yes, exactly.
For price, that is something negative. It seems so.
How is it? Okay.
It seems so. I don't have the, because a price once he says that this is a false promise, so to say, in the New Testament, that Christ should be already here because.
Oh yeah.
So for cipher, for price, that's something negative that is always still postponed. But sorry to say, for price, that's actually what quantum mechanics also teaches. The meaning is always postponed or deferred. You have in the superposition. So Dirac wrote, for instance.
Yes, and Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, where both time and place are deferred, so to speak. Sorry.
Yes, there is always new superpositions all the time. One collapses, there is always a new superposition at once.
Yeah.
So this actually from science, so we cannot criticize. Why didn't Jesus came? Didn't he came in the first century? No, the deferral is always possible.
Yeah.
And should perhaps also be there.
Yeah, it should be there, because the only chance of presence is not being present. That's what physics tells us. Pure presence means complete absence. There is no presence in classical physics. So you're absolutely right there.
Mm. But of course, you can turn it around and say, the politicians, they always differ their meanings. Yes, okay, perhaps quantum physics proves them right.
Oh, yeah. I like that one.
So you can always postpone promises.
Well, deferred, postpone in time, and deferred in space. I think that's pretty correct. A very short one, this one. Do you have the exact time, Kalle?
53.
I think I have to be on my way. I'm sorry about that, but I think we speak. Well, I would terminate the recording first.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kalle Lundahl, for your great comments, as always. Thank you, everyone, for listening in. And have a very pleasant morning, day, or afternoon. Bye-bye.